we don't even have a half knowledge of all things. We've got like an eighth of a knowledge of so many different things. Because when you start asking questions, man, when you don't go, you know, like sign up to be a Padawan or whatever, and you just keep sifting through all the different kinds of things, and you pick up a little, it's just, I don't know, man. For all I know, we're on the path to knowing. Welcome, modern day mystics, fellow truth seekers, James and Justin, back at it again with another reaction video. In this one, we're taking a look at Shunyamurti's latest video entitled Magic Can Impress the World, Yogic Power Recreates It. Cool. Yeah, so
Sat Yoga is about reaching the supreme knowledge, breaking through the barrier that separates the conscious mind from the supreme mysterium tremendum, to use the Christian term for the Godhead, and realizing that as the self.
Tremendous mystery. Yeah. Mysterium tremendum? Is that a fancy way of saying tremendous mystery? Yeah.
And Ramana uses the idea of the screen in the movie, but a more up-to-date analog would be the computer screen, even though we should probably move to the holographic projection of a computer, which we can also think of. But the computer screen contains the light. There's no projection. It emerges from it. And within the structure of the artificial intelligence that runs the patterns of pixels and determines what shows up on the screen is a relatively hidden intelligence of a certain kind. And in the same way, behind the pure awareness that is the screen that also produces the light waves that carry the information that produce a world. And
I've heard this metaphor before, but I find it so confusing. Can you
I'm
please
confused.
Help me?
I am confused.
I feel like I never know what they're getting at. Like, are we the screen, or are we the light that hits the screen? I'm always like all over the place. So please let us know in the comments.
Well, if you know.
Yeah, if you know.
A flow of time, etc. There is the intelligence that remains potential, that isn't actualized, that is in excess of what is actualized. There's always an excess because God is infinite, meaning moreness, power moreness, all of the potencies of God can at any time produce what will appear to those who are characters in the screen as miracles, as that which could not have been brought about by ordinary causality, because in fact there actually is no ordinary causality. And each individual's subjectivity and their objective experience are correlated, but they're not causally related, right? There's a synchronicity. You know, Jung didn't just find occasional synchronicities. The whole world is a constant synchronicity, synchronized between the subject and the object, which is why what you see is what you get, because what you get is actually what you're looking for, and therefore what you see.
So maybe what he's saying there is, if God is kind of like the projector, this reality that is happening is clearly, obviously, what God is the intention that that God wants, and we are the screen and the image on the screen being projected onto, I guess.
I don't know. It's, my thing that I was saying for a while is you're not the dreamer. You're not even the dream. You're just an aspect of the dream, which is something.
Yeah.
That was a kind of a thought I was toying with for a bit. But I'm kind of, I'm a little distracted here. I'm watching him, and I assume that this guy is, he's way more knowledgeable than we are, and I'm assuming that, there's probably some people he looks at and he's like, okay, like these people are ignorant. But I'm wondering if there's somebody that's gone farther along than him. Does it ever end? Is there a guy that's knows more and would look at Shunyamurti and be like, Shunyamurti, you've got some ways to go, and then and yet another person that's further than that. It's infinite after all. He just said that.
Yeah.
So it's possible that somebody could be further along than him.
Yeah.
I'm distracted. He's using a lot of big words and we're simple fellas, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. Let's try to listen harder, I guess.
And so we have a feedback mechanism that produces correlations but not causalities. It's simply that because of the fractal nature of reality, the inner and the outer are going to be self-similar. And then it's easy to think, oh, my thought, my prayer, my inner work caused the change in my outer reality, in my karma, right? And it can also be that your karma creates a huge change in your inner reality, right? Like a trauma or like some other kind of emotional charge or lightning bolt that transfigures the consciousness and changes one's life, a la Paul on the road to Damascus, So we have the inner and the outer, and there are two forms of knowledge that have been traditionally concerned with the regulation and the understanding, the wisdom, the symbolic capacity to draw forth the hidden implications of what appears on the screen, and to be able to modify what appears on the screen by shifting one's vibrational frequency, right? That's one form of knowledge that has...
It's amazing. We constantly hear about this vibrational frequency thing. There's got to be like a vibrational frequency master out there, someone that we can learn from. Well, I do a video on just vibrational frequency.
Well, we know that there are people that work with energies and frequencies, and it's all like, stay still, and right there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and you're like, what's happening? What's happening? And it's all happening, like, like somebody watching it would be like, he's, hypnotizing that guy. Yeah. Like... I don't know what my point is. Yeah, it would be cool if there were, and it might be neat if there was a science that was developed that would like show you a field. But could you even trust that? Say it was look through this monitor, see the rainbows around that guy? This monitor allows you, it's like you're still looking through a thing, Can you really trust anything other than your own eyes and ears and heart and mind?
I've seen people like write books on this stuff and have diagrams, and then like a physicist pick it up and be like, this is horseshit. I'm like, so like, that's the stuff that you run into, right?
This is probably why we've like, we don't even have a half knowledge of all things. We've got like an eighth of a knowledge of so many different things. Because when you start asking questions, man, when you don't go, like sign up to be a Padawan or whatever, and you just keep sifting through all the different kinds of things, and you pick up a little, it's just, I don't know, man. For all I know, we're on the path to knowing by doing this. For all, should I trust myself? And.
Yeah. Well, hey, one step at a time. We're learning here from Shinyan, trying to understand some of this.
Yeah.
Has led to such disciplines as magic And shamanism is probably the most famous, because the shaman wants to reach a vibrational frequency in which they are receiving information from spirits and from the surrounding entities and entelechies that are able to give information about a sickness or about a situation, a relationship, etc., that needs to be intervened in, or what sort of healing process or depossession of a demonic entity is necessary in a particular case, right? So the shamanic knowledge is concerned with what appears on the screen, but in a subtle way that can only be recognized by moving into a virtual reality that correlates with the actuality. So, and this can produce effects in the screen and shift, apparently, the...
Well, apparently there's a lot that can affect whatever is going on the screen.
I wanted to hear him tie it up there.
He's not ready. He's still got a little bit there, but
you know, I don't know why this is coming to my mind. I guess I just got a random brain, but I was thinking about like the multiple guys I've heard say like, I can look at a man and tell everything about him. I can just look at a man. You know, it's like, don't you have a chronic sickness that you can't even fix? You know, psychic fella. You know, like it's hard to know what to trust. It's hard to know who's talking gobbledygook, and you know, it's like we're inhabiting different realities. It really is like we're all in our own little realities, and then whatever is, you know, subjectively true to you is just fucking true to you. That's it. It's, you know, what are you going to say? Somebody's like, I've been seeing elves since I was 2, and, you know, I see auras around people. You know, you're really going to argue with that person, say they're not, it's not true, it's not real, you know? I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. I honestly don't know what he's talking about.
I know.
You know, and it sounds interesting. But
hey, and you know what? Maybe one of these things, like along the journey, every now and then you come across a video like this and you're like, well, I'm sorry, I'm just not getting it. But maybe seeds are planted and something gets put down in there, and then like further down the road, you pick up a little bit more.
It's awfully tempting to get some, you know, nice robes and a hat and start talking a little slower, man. Like, you know, I can tell everything about you by your manic behavior. You know, can't anyone act that way? Can't anyone pretend to be like that? Like recline back and like, yes, of course that is how that, you know. It's like I'm being frantic because I think it reflects sometimes how somebody might feel about some confusing statements.
Yeah.
You know, wait a second. You know, like, do you know what he's talking about?
No.
Okay.
Absolutely. I'm just trying to pick up little pieces here and there. I'm like, okay, maybe. I'm trying to get some.
He's incorporating technology into it.
The trajectory of karma. But the yogi is actually not interested in that. The yogi is interested in the screen itself and in the intelligence that underlies the entirety of the world process. It's a very different approach. And so the shaman moves into the imaginal realm, which is where a number of different traditions begin by teaching those who are interested in pursuing spiritual development, but it's usually the introductory level, and then the person goes beyond the siddhis that the yogi, shaman. The word shaman originally was Shraman, which is the name of a yogic monk. And so it has a long tradition that goes back to ancient India, and is one of the original yogic paths. But the jnana yogi, or the Sat yogi, to speak now in our current terms, is interested in the transcendence of the level of what appears on the screen or in the program, the virtual reality that can shift that. It's interested in being able to delete the program. It's interested in being able to eliminate in a much more radical way what appears on the screen. And so it can bring the world to an end, because the world is only a thought. And if one is at a high enough level of consciousness...
That was another one I thought for a while, that what if all of existence is just a thought God's having? Like, all of existence for a second, like everything we know is history and everything is just God was like, I wonder, and then everything, and then it's just as simple as that. That's all we're in right now, is like God running an experiment. Let me see what happens when I think up an entire universe. Yeah. You know, not with a brain, obviously.
And I think definitely bits and pieces of what he's been talking about in the speech are about that. He was talking about the fractal nature, the projection. So if that thought is, that's the projection.
Right.
So, you know, we're getting it. No.
We're not. I am imagining somebody that's like, you fools.
Yeah. Please do not write in the comments like, you idiots, don't even try. Like, come on, man. Like, you know, at least we're watching and we're attempting and we're doing our best, right? So, like, we're just being honest about it.
Yeah.
So,
whatever. Right. No, people can comment whatever they want, but
I'll just delete you if you say that.
Yeah, that's allowed too.
All right. Okay.
The entire quantum unified field, which is just a great thought. And it's not even a collective thought, that even though every node of consciousness within the field is having its own relation to the morphogenic dissemination of the most coherent vibrations that are passing through the field, nonetheless, the actual intelligence is from a transcendent level that cannot be reached through the use of the mind. All of this is mind, but the yogi transcends the mind. And it's that transcendence that is the source of the bliss and the liberation from being a character in the screen, as well as a consciousness that is in excess of one's own appearance.
Well, there you have it. That was a hard one.
I felt particularly distracted. I felt silly. You know, I kept noticing you laughing, and so that was making me kind of smile.
No, you know what? Sometimes,
hopefully you got something out of it.
Yeah, sometimes, hey, if they didn't get anything from us, hopefully they got something from him.
Yeah.
So,
well, you know, who knows? Maybe wise teachings sometimes like penetrate and go in through osmosis.
Yeah, that was, I feel like I made that. Why not? Yeah. All right. Good. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Hopefully did something for you. Let us know in the comments. You know, please don't rake us over the coals on that one. Be nice to us. And if you like this episode, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, share with a friend, and everybody until next time.
Absolutely. Stay spiritual.